ton to cover. I'm going to get into the debut of Tucker Carlson on Twitter with his new show. And there has been a campaign ending event with Ron DeSantis, my governor here in Florida. There's been you heard me right, a campaign ending event has occurred. I'm going to cover that too. I'm going to start with Tucker. All right, here we go.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, it sure is. It's Wednesday morning, June 7th, 2023. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. This is the most pro-Donald Trump program anywhere on the planet. You will never hear me disagree nor criticize President Trump. I say that with pride and credibility, and it's not that I'm holding back on any disagreements or criticisms I have of President Trump. I just don't have any disagreements or criticisms of his. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Now, we have a humongous show for you today. This is a big one. I'm going to talk here in the beginning. Tucker Carlson debuted his new show on the Twitter last night. And also, there's a lot going on. These are just two things. I'm going to start with that in just a moment. But there has been, and I'm going to get to this after the first break. Bit of a tease, but this is also a mental note. There's been a huge event that happened that has not been reported widely yet, and you're going to hear it here. There has been a campaign ending happening with Governor Ron DeSantis. You heard me right. With Governor Ron DeSantis, I'm going to get into this after the first break. There has been a presidential campaign ending event. We're going to get into that after the first break, okay? And it is huge. But first, I want to talk about Tucker Carlson's debut. His new show is called Tucker on Twitter. And when I left my house this morning, he had racked up 45 million views on his debut program. 45 million views. And then I checked when I got here to the radio station this morning. He's now up to 51 million views. And by the way, that's without any promo. People like me are going to be talking about this all day, and it's going to continue to go up. Over 50 million. Think about this. Tucker Carlson and his debut show, which is only like 10 or 12 minutes, Tucker on Twitter, has more views than all of the cable news combined. Isn't that something? It's absolutely amazing. And he talked about some very important things, which I'll touch on here in a bit. But I told you when they fired Tucker Carlson over at Fox News, I guess they didn't have the non-compete extending to Twitter or something because he's on the Twitter. But they, at Fox News, that's the they signed the death warrant of cable news. Cable news, the poison on our society is done. It's finished. Its days are over. And it really began with the firing of Tucker Carlson. That was it. You know, Fox News ticked off their core audience and people left for a while. Many of them came back. A lot of them came back. But this is it. They've done irreparable damage, not just to the Fox News brand, but finally to cable news in general, which is how the deep state and the uniparty have been maintaining their control for the past 35 or so years, is through cable news. They've been getting us to support wars we shouldn't be supporting and selling lies like weapons of mass destruction and other things. So this is absolutely amazing. And Tucker Carlson talked about this dam break over in Russia and Ukraine, and the Ukraine war, that he considers to be an act of terrorism that has resulted in a lot of civilian destruction. And he was not only blaming Zelensky for it, he was talking about how the media will not criticize Zelensky, that he's a saint, and it was just an incredible debut show. And a lot of people who have seen it that are commenting on Tucker's new show on Twitter are talking about how this was the first time they've seen him unfiltered, without the shackles of the corporate media, where he really went off on some things. And he did it. It was different. It's the same set that he had at his house for the Fox Nation app, with that, that kind of like he's in a barn kind of set. But it's a little different because Fox News came in and took all their equipment. But it sounded very, very good. It looked good. He was great. He was spot on. We're in a new era now. And I wonder if Tucker Carlson, this Twitter thing, is a large reason that President Trump said he's not going to do any presidential debates, which we'll talk about later because that's an important subject as well. But I was blown away by the quality and the content of Tucker. This is the new wave of media. Cable news is all one voice now, and maybe it has been all along and we just didn't realize it. But we are in the beginning of the biggest transition in American media since television news was in everyone's living room for the first time. It really is that big. I don't know if it feels that way. When things happen, they happen so gradually, and it's a natural progression, and a lot of times you don't realize what's happening. But I think this has been huge and on a dime, that people are fed up in this country with being fed CIA, deep state, uniparty propaganda called news, and telling us what we should think about this, what we should think about that. They haven't been doing the news in years. They'll have a news headline, and they'll have two guests. One's a conservative, one's a liberal, and the conservative will tell you what Republicans are supposed to think about this. The liberal tells you what Democrats are supposed to think about this. They don't even do the news. They just brainwash people. This debut of Tucker is massive, massive. Well, we don't know a lot of details about it, how often he'll do it. Will he be doing interviews? Was this just kind of a surprise launch? I don't know. But I do know this, that Tucker Carlson had more people hear him than any newsman has ever had since the days of the pre-cable news cycle and the internet, when there were just 3 channels and very high ratings were commanded because people had nothing else to watch. And it could not have happened at a better time. What Fox News did to Tucker Carlson was self-destructive and stupid, but it could not have happened at a better time, because we're at this point now with the presidential campaign. Even though the primaries are a year away, the presidential campaign is heating up. It's heating up big time. And what we need is a true, honest, independent media. And on a national level, we may never have had that. We were getting that way with Breitbart, but then they killed Breitbart, and then that died, and Breitbart's never been the same. Although it's good, but Breitbart's never been the same since they killed Andrew Breitbart. But now Tucker Carlson, with this Tucker on Twitter, this new thing is absolutely amazing. And I'm expecting some other big names like him to make this completely unfiltered leap. When they let Elon Musk buy Twitter, I don't think they had any idea what he'd be doing. If they knew, the powers that be knew, that Twitter would be a free space for someone like Tucker Carlson to go and do what he did last night on there, the government, the powers that be, would not have allowed Elon Musk to buy Twitter. So it's just an absolutely amazing thing. So those of you that saw Tucker Carlson, I know a lot of you did, you're certainly welcome to give me a call. I'd like to hear your thoughts on his debut show, Tucker on Twitter, which I loved it. I watched it twice. Very, very good. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. When we get back, I am not exaggerating this, by the way. I'm not exaggerating this. There has been a campaign-ending event with Ron DeSantis, and I'm going to get into that after this break.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs.
It was great, guys.
Any lab test now.
Where am I?
Any lab test now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Are you caring for your husband or wife with Alzheimer's disease or dementia? A study funded by the National Institutes of Health is looking to understand what your experience has been like as a spousal caregiver. Participation will include 4 online visits completed in the comfort of your own home. You will be monetarily compensated for your time. For more information, please call us at 713-348-8167. That is 713-348-8167. Once again, that is 713-348-8167.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633.
Great. Great stuff, guys.
954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com.
Hi, it's Scott Simmons from Florida Weekly. You may have to kiss a lot of toads to find your prince. This week we tell you about one to avoid, the cane toad, which is toxic to pets. Did you know Florida's first state capitol was a log cabin? I give you the scoop on that and other Florida trivia. And the Norton Museum offers a summer filled with activities. Read these and other stories in Florida Weekly. Available throughout Palm Beach County. Available online at floridaweekly.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we are back 17 minutes after the hour. It's Wednesday morning. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Callers on hold, stand by. Coming up in just a moment, there has been a campaign-ending event with Ron DeSantis, which I'm going to get to in just a moment. I'm not going to tease it any more than that. I'm just going to jump into it in just a bit. But first, I want to tell you, I got a big announcement from the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mr. Mike Lindell. I got a message from Mike Lindell's office last night. There is a huge special going on right now with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, on the MyPillow towel set. 50% off the MyPillow 6-piece towel set. I have 2 sets of these, by the way. Just $25 for the MyPillow 6-piece towel set. And if you've seen Mike Lindell's commercial on television, you've heard Mike Lindell say towels that actually work. What a concept. And that is more than just some tagline or selling point. It is the truth. Yeah, you probably, some of you have been around for a while, heard me talk about my experience with the MyPillow towels. These towels are amazing. I dried my body off this morning when I got out of the shower with my MyPillow towels. But one morning, all the towels were dirty. They were in the laundry room, and all I had was the washcloth, the little tiny little washcloth, shaped of a square, from the 6-piece MyPillow towel set. Everything else was dirty in the laundry room. And I'm getting out of the shower, then all I got is the washcloth. So I dried my body and hair off with the washcloth. And you know what? These MyPillow towels are so good. My body and my hair on my head was completely dry just from drying off with that little tiny washcloth from the 6-piece MyPillow towel set. Isn't that amazing? That's right, towels that actually work. They are 50% off with our promo code Kane at checkout at mypillow.com. Just $25 right now. They come in many different colors. I have 2 sets of these. You should buy a couple sets. This is the lowest price ever. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. And remember, you can take advantage of all the specials at mypillow.com with our promo code Kane, not just the ones that I highlight. Okay, so call is on hold. Bear with me. This is big, people. There's been a campaign-ending event with Governor Ron DeSantis, and it involves 3 different things and 2 different stories. So I'm going to read these stories to you. I'm going to go to the first one, which is the least problematic of the others. Okay? That's what you got to do. You got to build up. But this is the least problematic of the 2 stories that involve 3 different things. This is insane. This should be the top and bottom of the hour on the news. It is over for Ron DeSantis. He has been completely exposed as a phony and the worst kind of politician there is. So, we've heard some reporting. Call us on hold, stand by. I'll get you after I get through this at 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Now, there's been a lot of talk since he launched this absurd campaign where he's double digits behind Trump in every poll that DeSantis only cares about donors. In fact, people at campaign events says he doesn't even talk to the people. He only talks to the donors, right? So these happenings that I'm sharing with you this morning about Ron DeSantis involve donors. Here's the first one, and this is the least of the 2 problems. This is in the Post-Millennial, which is a great conservative news outlet out of Canada. Look at this. I have to go to Canada to find out what's going on with the governor of Florida's presidential campaign because the Trump-hating mainstream media are covering this up. Post-Millennial. It has been revealed that one of the campaign bundlers for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign is a partner at a lobbying group that works for Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light. That's correct. Slater Bayless, who was named as a veteran of Florida politics and co-founder of the advocacy group at Cardenas Partners, is listed among the beer brand's lobbyists along with other members of the group. Politico is reporting, which is liberal. Politico's liberal. Politico reports a photo taken during Ron DeSantis' presidential lunch in May at the Four Seasons in Miami shows this Bud Light lobbyist in 3rd place for overall donations raised by an individual bundler for Ron DeSantis. Now, what bundlers are they're these guys who collect and compile all the campaign contributions from donors. So Ron DeSantis, his number 3 campaign bundler, is a lobbyist for Bud Light that they cannot even give away to people now. It's pretty bad, huh? Pretty big hypocrisy, especially when he's at war. This is where woke comes to die. His whole campaign slogan is, right now, they may change it, DeSantis' whole campaign slogan is, Florida, where woke comes to die. Unless you want to bundle money for his campaign, then you're welcome. So that's the least of the 2. That's one. And any particular one of these, this one, you might be able to talk your way out of, maybe. But there could be no better time for us on this because he's being exposed early on, a year out for the primaries, of what a creep he is. But there's no worse time for him as a presidential candidate, a Republican talking about where woke comes to die and taking on woke, that his number 3 campaign bundler is a Bud Light lobbyist. But that's not the worst of it. Listen to this. Now, when I say this, you may think I misspoke. you may think that you didn't hear what I said properly. You might want to turn your radios up a little bit. Turn it up a couple decibels, okay, guys? Whatever the volume is, turn it up. This is in the Daily Mail. Now, I have to go to Canada to find out about the governor of Florida. Now I've got to go to England, the Daily Mail out of England, out of London, out of the UK. I got to go to Europe to find out what's going on with the Florida governor's campaign. Can't find it in the mainstream media here. Listen to this. The Daily Mail reporting, a lobbyist for the vaccine manufacturer Moderna. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. A lobbyist for vaccine manufacturer Moderna and for the maker of a leading puberty blocker given to transgender children is holding a fundraising event in Washington, D.C. this month for Ron DeSantis. The Daily Mail writes, it puts the Florida governor in an awkward position as he tries to ride anti-vaxxer sentiment and his record-restricting gender-affirming treatment all the way to the White House. He's pressing for a grand jury investigation into Moderna and has banned transgender treatment for minors in Florida. But he's got a campaign event going on for a lobbyist for Moderna, the vaccine company that also makes the puberty blockers. What's going on here, Ron? What's going to be next? Planned Parenthood lobbyists working for you? What's going on? The Trump campaign quickly slammed DeSantis, accusing him of hypocrisy. The controversy stems from an event to be held at the offices of Brownstein Hyatt Farber Schreck, D.C.'s biggest federal lobbying firm, on June 23rd. DeSantis supporters can buy a place with a $1,000 donation, according to an invitation. I'm looking at it here. One of the hosts is Mark Lampkin, a partner at the firm who's been on the wrong side of a host of DeSantis and Republican red button issues. He's a registered lobbyist for Moderna, manufacturer of a COVID-19 mRNA vaccine. Filings show he's also a registered lobbyist for AbbVie, the maker of the puberty blocker Lupron. He's been doing that for 9 years. This drug has been given to trans children in Florida to pause their puberty. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. So he's got a guy raising money for him who's a lobbyist for Bud Light. He's got a fundraiser coming up organized by a guy who works for Moderna and the puberty blocker. And then this. And Foreign Agent Registration Act papers show that this guy organizing the DeSantis fundraiser represents a Chinese state-owned maker of semiconductors, a company that in 2018 was sanctioned by the Trump administration. So we got DeSantis taking money from a Bud Light lobbyist, a lobbyist for Moderna, a lobbyist for the puberty blockers for transgender children, and a lobbyist for a CCP Red China-owned company that was sanctioned by the Trump administration. Oh my goodness. I want to hear your thoughts on all of this. I consider this to be a campaign ending happening. Our number is toll free 1-888-GO-CANE1. You can't make this stuff up. 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
Guys, you got to call me on the air and let me know what you think about these issues. Am I out of my mind, or is this a major campaign level ending event for Governor Ron DeSantis' presidential dreams?
You know how they were saying a lot of donors were backing out
Yeah.
a while ago? Maybe he's getting desperate.
That's right, maybe.
Now he's starting to find anyone that will.
That's right. Yeah, Planned Parenthood will be next. Glisten. Oh, my goodness. Bruce, thank you. Yes, everyone, please like the video. Yeah, guys, call me on the air. It's toll free no matter where you are. 888-465-2631. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you don't have to agree with me. I'm always here to be disagreed with, but I think that I'm spot on with this. I mean, DeSantis, yeah, I know. It might as well be Disney. What's worse, taking money from Disney or Bud Light, the puberty blocker company, and Moderna? I mean, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Where are all these DeSantis people that have been giving me a hard time the last few weeks? Oh, my goodness. Make sure you guys switch your chat to live chat, by the way. And you know, guys, when you go to mypillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, it's a great way to support the program. You're supporting all the content that I do, the YouTube channel, the radio station, my podcast. When you use my promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you're supporting all of that. And this deal going on right now on the My Pillow towel sets, 50% off with our promo code KANE at checkout is just a huge. Let me get the exact price. I want to make sure I get the price right because this is such a good deal. Hold on. Let me make sure I get the price right because it's so low. I mean, this is insane. Yeah, they sent me a message I got it this morning. They sent it to me last night. Just $25 with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. Now, if you're watching live, I put the link pinned to the top of the chat. And if you're watching later, not live, the link to our MyPillow page is in the description of the video. Just $25 with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for the 6-piece MyPillow towel set. That's 50% off. I'm going to tell my wife to buy another set or two. We have 2, but hey, 4 is fine. At this price, I have to do laundry less often if we have 4 sets. Oh, man. Tell me, yes or no, are these career campaign-ending events, Moderna, the puberty blocker company, and Bud Light? My goodness. And the Chinese company. Let's not forget about the CCP guy. Yeah, Greg for DeSantis, he called himself. Yeah, where's Greg for DeSantis? Done Santa. Slick Pickle, that is, I'm going to use that. I'll credit it with you once or twice. I can't credit you for it every time. I get ridiculous, but that's good. Slick Pickle. DeSantis is Done Santis. Maybe I'll make that the thumbnail for my podcast today. Because I think I might, today's podcast, I want to highlight this DeSantis thing probably. Unless something major else happens today, but I think it's too important not to be hammering home. So, Done Santis. I love it. I'll recap it before I take the calls. Slick Pickle, what episode of Star Trek is that picture from? Do you know? I think I know. Hey, Wookiees. Glad you're back with us. I think I'd have to see it a little bigger. If that's a real picture of Shatner, I think it is either the episode Court Martial, or it's either Court Martial or The Enemy Within. Did you see Star Trek Picard this season? Oh my goodness. I wasn't too sure about it those first couple episodes, but Star Trek Picard was amazing this season. I might rewatch. It's only 10 episodes. Yeah, that Trump halo, it's amazing. There we go, guys.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on...
All right. Welcome back, one and all. Callers on hold, standby. Let me do a quick recap. The Reader's Digest version. Our Gen Zs and Millennials have no idea what that even means, the Reader's Digest version. But there are two stories I've been talking about so far this morning. The first is Tucker Carlson made his debut with his new show, Tucker on Twitter. Over 50 million views already. And that's before everyone started talking about it like I'm doing this morning. And we've got major campaign-ending events happening with Ron DeSantis. It's being reported in Politico, liberal. It's being reported in the Post-Millennial, very conservative, credible news outlet out of Canada, that there is the number 3 campaign bundler for Ron DeSantis also is a lobbyist for Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch. Bad timing there, Ron. He's got another fundraiser coming up later this month that's being organized by a man who is a lobbyist for Moderna, the vaccine company, and also the company that makes the puberty blockers for transgender teenagers to stop puberty from occurring. And he also is a registered lobbyist and has been for 9 years for the CCP semiconductor company that was sanctioned by the Trump administration. So this is huge. He's taken donations from all the enemies in the current news cycle except for Disney. He hasn't taken money from Disney that we know of yet, but what he's done is taken donations from somebody who raises money for the some of the biggest enemies of the MAGA conservative movement in America today. Let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff. Oh, my goodness. Big stories, huh?
Well, first of all, kudos to Tucker Carlson for that unbelievable laws that Ron DeSantis couldn't even do.
Mm-hmm.
So, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You always follow the money when someone is running for office.
That's right. Follow the money. Follow the money. That's what they say, and we're doing it.
And Ron DeSantis is just screwing up worse and worse and worse. And I believe that he's doing this. He knows he hasn't got a shot to beat Trump. He's hoping the deep state can keep him from running. That's the only way, he thinks, because that wouldn't even work, as far as I'm concerned. And I bet you he's going to be patting some money away personally. And I'd like to have his financial records personal revealed.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'd rather stick to what we know, right? We know that his number, we should stick with what we know. And what we know is this. His number 3 campaign bundler is a lobbyist for Anheuser-Busch, which is Bud Light. He's got a fundraiser coming up in a couple of weeks that's being organized by a guy who is a lobbyist for Moderna, the vaccine company, while he's out there saying that Trump turned the country over to Fauci, which is not true. He's the guy also is a lobbyist for the pharmaceutical company that makes the puberty blockers for trans children, and also is a registered foreign agent for a Chinese-owned semiconductor company that was called out by the Trump administration. I mean, this is some bad stuff here. What's he thinking?
The worst one is that trans puberty blocker stuff that he says he's for kids and keeping that stuff out of school, and he's taking money from them, that says everything about him.
Yeah, I agree. It's not, like it's not like he personally has some condition, he's been prescribed a medication, and it comes from that same company. That's different, right? He has actually got top guys raising money for him that are lobbyists for these evil people. So why are they doing this? Why is the Moderna puberty blocker Chinese semiconductor guy lobbyist raising money for DeSantis? We know fundraisers demand control over these candidates, right? Why is this guy from Anheuser-Busch, which is Bud Light, why is he helping DeSantis? What do they want in return? And what's he willing to give them in return?
That's a great question, because everything points to something smells really bad. He has sold himself out. Over and over he has showed that he's for sale.
Well, it seems, we're seeing the real Ron DeSantis. He's the worst kind of sleazy, low-life politician. He just was lying to us for a few years, and he got away with it, hiding behind the Trump shadow.
You know what I'd really like to see? If he stays in for running for president, and I say if, because if he gets on a debate stage with President Trump, he's going to look like a fool. Trump will eat his lunch.
I don't know if Ron DeSantis sold us out. Maybe he's always been with them. You know what I mean? Maybe he didn't sell us out. Maybe he's always been with these people.
Wouldn't that even be worse?
Yeah. You understand what I mean? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like I give you an example. There was one, there were many spies around Trump, right? The first one that really did damage was Jeff Sessions. Jeff Sessions was the first Republican senator to endorse Trump in the 2016 campaign, and he went around the country with him. And what happened? He's the one that appointed Mueller. So, he was planted there by the Uniparty to try to get control of Trump and become the Attorney General. And look what he did. He appointed Mueller, and that led to years of BS. Ron DeSantis, I'm not so sure. Maybe he sold us out, but maybe he was never with us. That's
a great point. And I have to go for my chiropractor appointment in about 10 minutes. I'm here.
Well, let's hope that everything's okay at the chiropractor. Okay, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, my goodness.
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike. Oh, man. Is it over for DeSantis? Is DeSantis done Santis? I like
He's
that.
done Santa.
Done Santis. I like that. I didn't come up with that, by the way. One of our listeners in our live chat, who goes by the name Slick Pickles, said DeSantis is done Santis. I like that. Done Santis.
But here's the deal. Just going back to the whole Tucker show on thing that got, 45 million views?
It's over 50 million now. It's over 50 million views now.
Kind of makes you wonder if he did sign this contract with thing, and we know that Elon wants Trump back on Twitter in a bad way. He wants him back on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this could be a way to get him back on Twitter, if not all the time as a guest on the Tucker show.
Well, I'm sure President Trump is aware of this huge number of viewers that Tucker has gotten on his debut show on Twitter, which is over 50 million, and that's without any promotion. He just put it up. No one knew it was even happening, and this is like just all on its own. He probably broke a record of some sort. I mean, it's viral beyond imagination right now. I don't know if something's gone this viral in this type of format before that he's doing either. He may have made a first accomplishment here on the internet. It's amazing.
Absolutely, and as far as all these bunglers and all these people that he's getting, that Gun Sanders is getting his money from. I mean, remember that undercover video or audio that we speculated from one of these sessions that we speculated came from possible Trump plant in the Trump bungler plant in with DeSantis in one of these events with DeSantis.
Yeah.
What this guy was alluding to when he did that, you know?
He was alluding to something.
You who he's getting his money from.
Yeah, well, we know. We know now. Hey, Mike, thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
So, do you have hay fever?
I do have hay fever pretty
Can
bad.
I tell you what's so great for hay fever?
What's that?
The Bloomers Frozen Drink CBD mixers. It's great for this time of the year because it's so restorative. So, Bloomers Frozen Drinks has CBD, but I'll tell you what else they have that's really amazing. They have Froze Mix. So, if you like frozen wine cocktails, frozen sangria, frozen rosé, Bloomers Froze Mix is the best one. And it's the #1 selling drink mix on Amazon. So, you can pick it up there. It's prime, it's quick, it's fast. But all the Bloomers products are available on bloomersfrozendrinks.com.
I was going to say, I think I've seen them in local liquor stores too.
They are. And we have a new brand launching called Ben's Badass Bloody Mary Mix. So
If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. When you guys like the video, it gets this video recommended to other people that have not yet found my channel. And that helps grow the channel and spread the word. So if you could like the video as well as subscribe, that would be awesome. And if you think you're already subscribed, check and make sure you are. A lot of people think they're subbed and they're not. Because you watch my content so much, I pop up in your feed, but you may not be subscribed. Oh my goodness.
Hi, this is Keith Singer saying, well, if you own a retirement account, not only do you need to make smart investment choices,
They're all shady but Trump.
choices as well.
That's
waiting to collect a part of that account, and you can minimize what they get, but you have to use the right strategies. To learn about these strategies to reduce taxes on your IRA account, text the word tax report to
these are just amazing stories.
tax report to 474747, so you and your family can keep as much of your IRA as possible.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood at the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. They will test for both environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
I invite you to join me at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce because here we're all about community. With like-minded people and businesses, the Chamber will help your business grow, and you get to connect with people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunities to learn alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, we are better together. Become a member at delraybeach.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, man, we are breaking a lot of news today. If you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio this year. 46 years. That's amazing. That's right. That's what makes us the longest running. A lot of people say they're the longest running radio show hosted by a woman who's Hispanic that has 6 toes. I mean, some of these longest running radio show little amendments they have to that are, we're the longest running radio show, period. We don't need any little additions, no hyphens, no parentheses, no bizarreness. This is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, the Steve Kane Show. And it's absolutely amazing. And I know many of you have been with the show that long. Steve started the show in Orlando, and there are people in this audience They're old. But there are people in this audience who have been with the Steve Kane Show since the Orlando days. I just want to take a moment to talk about Sloman's. It's amazing what they offer. A long time ago, I got a security system I ordered, and they sent me a box in the mail, and I was supposed to hook it up, including the cameras. I don't know how to do that. Well, I'm going to drill and change locks and drill holes and hang cameras. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a security expert. I'm not a security advisor. Well, Sloman's actually have real human beings that are security advisors that visit your home. They talk to you. They get to know you, your home, and what your needs are and what the best solution for you is. All right? And you have a home security advisor who's a person, a real living, breathing person with Sloman's. So that's why they give you all the tech they have for free, because they know it's right. They know you're going to be happy with it, because they have a human security advisor who sets the whole thing up for you. With Sloman's, you're going to get a customized home security system with professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. The system includes an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery, plus that human security advisor. Give them a call, 1-833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. And you parents, this makes a great gift for your kids as well. 833-283-5050. All right, I'll do a quick recap, then we'll get back to the phones. Huge stories. Of course, as Tucker made his Twitter show debut with more viewers, and it's growing as we speak. More viewers than all of cable news combined, without any promotion or advanced announcement that it was happening. Just was there, boom. Just broke a record. But also, we have these campaign-ending stories for Ron DeSantis. We find out his number 3 campaign fundraising bundler is a lobbyist for Anheuser-Busch. That's Bud Light. That's right. He's got a fundraiser coming up in a couple of weeks with a lobbyist who is a lobbyist for Moderna, the vaccine manufacturer, and also manufactures the puberty blockers that are prescribed to trans children to stop their puberty, to block their puberty. And by the way, the guy, for the past 9 years, has been a registered foreign agent for a Chinese company, a CCP company that manufactures semiconductors that was reprimanded by the Trump administration. So this is huge stuff, and there's a massive media cover-up because this story is being suppressed. But we have it here, and I want to hear your thoughts on it at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I learned something yesterday that I did not know. In the UK, it's illegal to have your car running if you're not driving. In my car, I've got one of those things where the engine shuts off when you're stopped at a light. Now, there's an option. You hit a switch and it shuts it off. I shut it off. Sometimes I forget, but I shut it off. You can shut it off at any time. I hate that. And then, the car starts when, the light turns green, you're going to go. I hate that. And if you're in a drive-through, the car just shuts completely off if you're stuck there long enough. It's awful. And they say that it reduces emissions. Maybe, I don't know. They say it does. I think I don't know. I think it puts a lot of wear on the starter. Do they have some new advanced starters? They can start a quadrillion more times than the standard starter? I don't know. But in the UK, apparently it's illegal to be in your car and have it idling. And this is something I do quite often. In Florida, it's hot. So, and my wife's on a lot of medications that are vasodilators, which open up your blood vessels. And my wife is always very, very, very hot. So anytime we go somewhere, unless it's 1 or 2 days in the winter, or 2 days of winter in Florida, but especially now as we're getting into the summer, what I do is I go out. If we're going to go somewhere, about 20 minutes, sometimes even 30 minutes, depends on how hot it is, I'll go out to the car, I'll start it and turn the air on. and have the air running so that when we go, the car's ice cold for my wife. Well, that's illegal in the UK, apparently. And this guy is sitting in his car, and this green do-gooder lady comes up to him. She calls the police on him because he's sitting in a car that is turned on, but it's not moving, which is a law against the law in the UK, apparently, or at least this part of the UK. This is very strange. And the guy took out his iPhone and recorded the entire exchange. And there was something in particular about this car that this green do-gooder, very strange lady, didn't realize, which you'll hear in this. But listen, so you'll hear the voice. They both have English accents. You'll hear the woman who's calling the police on him because the car's idling. And then you'll hear the man who's in the car trying to tell her something about his car. Listen.
Yeah, so that's you. Sitting in the car with the engine running, you're polluting the atmosphere. That is a crime now.
How is it a crime?
Because you are sending untold nasty emissions of poison all over this area.
Oh, really?
It shouldn't be allowed.
Am I really?
Yes.
Okay, now he takes the camera and shows the steering wheel. This guy is sitting in a Tesla, right, which is a 100% electric vehicle, and she's not familiar with Teslas, and which comes up.
All over this area.
Oh, really?
It shouldn't be alled.
Am I really?
Yes,
think
you are,
I
really.
think
Really, as you live and breathe, as you're talking to me now, you are sitting there with your engine running.
And you're sat there with a hat.
Atmosphere.
And you're sitting there, and you're standing over there with a hat on. I'm not
So,
complaining about that, am I?
Well, that might be a crime against fashion, but it's certainly not a crime as in the police are going to get me, are they?
Okay, so what? You're going to call the police because I'm just sat in my car?
You're sat in your car with your engine running. If you were sat in the car with your engine off, I wouldn't say anything about it.
Wow, so she's called the police on him because he's sitting in an idling car. Now, I've seen people confront people who left a dog in the car a couple times in parking lots. Have you ever seen that? Because it gets hot in there for the dogs. I've never seen someone get confronted because their car's idling.
But look, it's an electric car, though.
My way and enjoy my afternoon rather than engaging in a pointless conversation with you.
No.
Well, I hope it's not pointless because I'm hoping that you're going to turn that bloody engine off.
Look, it's an electric
Yeah,
car.
but you've got a child in the back there.
Look, it's an electric car.
Do you know what you're doing to that child? You've got the window open, talking to me, as you would, of course.
But I'm saying it's an electric car, though.
It's not an electric car.
It's an electric car. Look, there's no emissions coming out of
What are
it.
you pointing at that for? What's that?
No.
What is that? What? Oh, so that tells me it's an electric
You're
car.
touching my car now. What? You've got the right.
All right.
You've got the right to invade my finger.
I'm not going to touch your car again.
Thank
I'm
you.
just telling you, you can't just point to that insignia, which I've never seen before.
Tesla insignia.
Then that's an electric car.
But it's an electric car. There's no
That suits
emissions.
you, doesn't it?
But
Okay, so it's a very quiet engine. It is really quiet. I'll give you that. It's quiet, but it's silent but deadly. You know.
So
It is silent but deadly. Those poisons.
There
those
is
gases,
no engine.
They can't be seen.
There's no engine.
Look, just listen to me, all right?
I'm listening.
Listen to me.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, can we have a decent, peaceable conversation, please?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to explain to you.
Yeah.
Right, you see, there are things that you can't see, right?
Yeah.
Gas is one of them.
Yeah.
Poisonous gas
Yeah.
is something that you can't see,
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
You can't see it,
Yeah.
and it's poisoning. You see, these people here,
Yeah.
they agree with me, you see.
What? Oh,
They
they
agree
really?
with me. They do, yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that this is there's no emissions.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, in some of these countries, liberals are always telling us we have to go to Europe and find out what the Europeans think. In some of these countries, Canada here in North America and in the UK and parts of Europe, they're like 15 years ahead of us in one thing and one thing only, right? Their liberalism and their liberal dictatorship over people. The idea that you could call the police on someone because their car is idling and it is not in motion. When I first saw this video, I saw this yesterday, I thought this was like a Babylon Bee parody. I thought this was like a comedy skit. But as scary as it is, it's this cult of the global warming, climate change lunatics is it's a religion with these people. You know, liberalism has always been kind of a religion with liberals, but this green business that they're involved in is more than just it's a fanatical cult. And these are true believers. I mean, she thinks that the child in the back seat is endangered by the father because the car is running and there's emissions coming out of the exhaust pipe. These are sick, twisted people, but luckily it's the UK. I'll tell you what, though, if Trump doesn't get back in 2024, lunatics like this, well, that's what's been running the country the last couple years in the White House. It'll take hold here. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to, oh my goodness, we've only just started. I've got so much to cover today. This is a big day of news. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. That's right, I'm Brian Craig. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robes Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, South Florida. First morning meteorologist Vanessa here from WPF 25 News. For her first half of the day looking good. We'll see a lot of sunshine and temperatures will lower 80s later this afternoon. Hot and humid with a high of 83 degrees.
Christie launched his primary campaign tonight in Manchester.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Oh my goodness. What a bunch of lunatics in this world we have. I mean, my goodness.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Saturday, June 10th.
It did sound like a Monty Python routine.
Belmont Steaks and PBKC. And check out all the great OTV action in the Paddock Restaurant with over 130 new HD TVs and big screens, delicious lunches, a full bar, and an impressive wine list. PBKC is your entertainment destination with poker, casino table games, OTV, exceptional dining, and exciting events like the 155th running of the Belmont this Saturday. Go to pbkennelclub.com for more info. Here's your
Yeah, they want us to be Amish. When I first moved to Florida and started school here in Florida, I was started the 5th grade in Florida. It was 82. And you know, the schools did not have central air conditioning back then. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Or heat. But there was one teacher at my school. Luckily, he was not my teacher. But he was one of these Amish guys that kept the lights off in his classroom. And I once had detention, and it was in his classroom, and there were no lights on. And, I mean, I don't know how much damage he caused to the vision of children with that BS, but... Party like in 1699, yeah. Did you see that parody that Trump did? Put on True. So Trump made this video parody of Chris Christie. It's Chris Christie's announcement, but he's standing in front of a buffet, an all-you-can-eat buffet. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't mind having an Amish quilt. I know my wife would enjoy that.
brake detectors, camera lenses, signal relays, but none of that really matters if you don't have one important piece, a human being. That's right, a real human being. When a Sloman's home security advisor visits a home, they get to know the people that live there. They listen and learn. That's how they come up with the best solution to keep you safe. Yeah, you can buy those fancy gadgets yourself, but what are all those without the humans behind the technology? Sloman's believes in their people so much, they give you
Amish
the
furniture is
technology
amazing.
for free. So not only do you get a human security advisor, you'll receive a customized home security system with professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. The system includes an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery. But most importantly, the people who stand behind it. So call Sloman's at...
I don't know what the guy's deal was. He wasn't my teacher. I don't know if he was Amish, but he was against using the electricity.
Sloman's, the difference is human.
The 8th annual Delray Beach Summer Green Market is back again. This open-air farmers market starts on June 3rd and continues.
And he wrote, I remember he rode a bicycle to school. He didn't have a car.
Located on the corner of Swinton Avenue and East Atlantic on the front lawn of the old school square.
When we're out of rainy season, I'll ride my scooter. You know, my scooter gets my new MAGA scooter 2.0 is a Vespa. Do you know it gets 108 miles to the gallon? 108 miles to the gallon. It's crazy. I was going to write it in this morning, but I just was leaving too late. I got to leave a little earlier.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian. Callers on hold, stand by. I got to do a quick recap because we have got just some of the biggest breaking news that you can imagine. It's being suppressed. The first story is Tucker Carlson made his debut with his new show. It's called Tucker on Twitter. It was amazing. 10, 12 minutes. He talked about Zelensky in Ukraine. It was fantastic. And it has over 50 million views already without any announcement that it was coming. It's huge. And everyone's going to be talking about it today. Well, not the mainstream media, but people like me are going to be talking about it today, driving more people to watch it. Over 50 million views already. Just put it up last night. That's amazing. But also, we got some big news on Ron DeSantis that I believe is a campaign ending happening. And this is what we know. He had his number 3 campaign bundler, that's the guys that raise the money, his number 3 campaign bundler is a lobbyist for Anheuser-Busch. That's Bud Light, people. His number 3 bundler, Anheuser-Busch Bud Light lobbyist. He's got a fundraiser coming up in a couple weeks. That's the lobbyist organizing it is a lobbyist for Moderna that makes the vaccine. I know, right? Jeez, it's pretty bad, right? Might as well be taking money from Planned Parenthood. But it's more than that. So this lobbyist that's organizing this DeSantis fundraiser, he's a lobbyist for Moderna, the vaccine manufacturer, and also the company that manufactures the puberty blockers that are given to transgender children to block their puberty. And he also is a registered foreign agent for a Chinese semiconductor company that was called out by the Trump administration. So, bad day for DeSantis. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Barbara in Baltimore.
Oh, Barbara. Oh, boy. What a day, huh?
What a day. What a day. And, you know, I'm on your Twitter page right now. I was looking for, and I think I found it because you posted it. I didn't see the Daily Mail, but I did see the Millennial article because I wanted to read those articles. I am so grateful. I just thank God every day for all the things that he is exposing to the people of this country because folks need to see it and wake up. And the timing could not be better. I'm going to be a guest. I'm not going to say the name of the show or anything. I'm going to be a guest on Sunday afternoon, and this is something that I am definitely going to talk about because I don't think they're going to hear it anywhere else. I don't think it's going to be talked about. Ron DeSantis is so inexperienced at this. He's so not focused on what it's going to take care of us, to take care of with us, the U.S., this country.
Well, what's he thinking? Why would he be in this position? Why would he put himself in such a position?
He's not. He's not thinking. That's what's crucial here. Ron DeSantis is not thinking. He's not paying attention to who's paying for him, who's buying him.
When Obama was president and was pushing Obamacare, a very, very big company called us up and wanted to advertise on the Steve Kane show. And Steve and I went to meet them, and they were offering to pay much more than we normally would charge someone. It was very strange, and I didn't really know where this was going. And then all of a sudden, they said that they wanted us to no longer call Obama Obama. You know what they wanted us to call him?
No, what?
President Obama. That we were disrespecting him by calling him Obama to call him President Obama. These were conditions, by the way. They would advertise if we would do this. They also said that we had to stop calling Obamacare. We had to call it the Affordable Care Act. We couldn't call it Obamacare. And there were some other things. It's been a long time, I forget. And Steve said, all right, we'll see you. And we left that meeting. And they were offering a lot of money. A lot of money. Yeah, Steve said, we're out of here.
They're in the business. They have been in the business of buying politicians. I wouldn't even vote for him now. I wasn't going to vote. I didn't know what I was going to do if Donald Trump, something happened. I don't know. We just got to make sure that all of these schemes and the things that they're doing to try to bring him down, we've got a recognized criminal in the White House who earned a government salary his entire life and lives like a billionaire. Mm-hmm. And there's a question about where his money came.
Well, these lobbyists that are raising money for DeSantis, any one of them he might be able to try to excuse away or claim ignorant, but it's too many. Bud Light, Moderna, the puberty blocker, and the CCP. I mean, my goodness. Everyone's in there but Disney.
And the thing about it is, what's even more hypocritical is that he is the governor of the state that's really so proactive against these same companies.
Well, is he really, though? Is he really against these puberty blockers? I mean, if he's got the lobbyists for the puberty blocker pharmaceutical company organizing a fundraiser for him, can he really be against? There's a conflict there.
I don't think he knows. I don't think he's
He knows. Believe me, he knows. If I know it, he knows it.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to give him the credit of having that much sense, and because of that too, he doesn't need to be running this country. These are rookie errors. If you're going to represent one,
maybe he's just a corrupt politician that'll take money from anybody. Have you thought about that? I wouldn't say it's a rookie mistake. I think he's just part of the establishment of the sleazy Republican Party.
Well, he must be very stupid, because how could he fake?
Yeah.
Find out, because we've got people like you that are on the job. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Barbara. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know what it is with DeSantis? I was talking about this on my podcast the other night. The people that are running the DeSantis campaign are, right, Jeb Bush and Karl Rove and these guys. These guys are running a campaign like it's 1993 or something, before the internet, right? He's got a bunch of old fogies running his campaign that don't understand how media operate these days. Right? That Hillary had that same problem in 2016, and that's a lot of it. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Doug.
Hey, Doug.
And I certainly hope that your reporting gets widespread and everybody says something, because this is Ron DeSantis. I can't believe he would do something so dumb to take money from all these people that he's supposedly against. Man. And I also like to congratulate you. That was a great show. I've been listening for a lot of years. And I don't remember ever you saying that you were offered money to not to say Obama and not to say President Obama. That would be great.
It was a lot of money. It was a lot. They were offering a lot. It was so bizarre. And the deal was about to be signed. I wish I could remember the other things. It's been, we're talking like, 2010, 2009, whenever this was. So it's been a long time. But I remember when the guy said, you must call the President Obama. Calling him Obama shows disrespect. And Steve and I looked at each other and our eyes met. And it was like, oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was great that you walked away, man. That was fantastic. The other thing, it's funny, you just mentioned this climate change idiot in England.
Yes.
I think on Newsmax they had some experts saying, everybody seems to forget that we make carbon and the plants make oxygen, and if there's no carbon, there won't be any oxygen, there's no life. They just don't get this.
The science is always wrong. When I was in high school, there was an obsession over the rainforest, which produces all the oxygen, 80% of the oxygen for the planet. And they said, the rainforest, by the year 2000, the rainforest was going to be gone. We'd have no air to breathe by the year 2000. So guys, and I remember they told us in school, each day an area the size of Rhode Island is destroyed in the rainforest. And by the year 2000, well, here we are in 2023 and we're fine. Remember acid rain? Remember that? The acid rain, remember the hole in the ozone layer? All these things have been debunked, and the aerosol cans, hairspray and Lysol cans were going to causing the hole in the ozone layer to, grow, and all this BS.
And what gets me is they know it's a lie and they keep talking the same nonsense, and people go, oh yeah, climate.
So what do you think? Here's Ron DeSantis, got a Bud Light lobbyist, a Moderna vaccine lobbyist, a Chinese CCP lobbyist, and what was the puberty blocker lobby. What's going on with DeSantis?
Man, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is he's going to try to spin and say, hey, I'll take money from anybody, but I'm not going to be loyal to them.
Please, Doug. Give me a break. I would love to have been at Mar-a-Lago. Well, I'd love to be at Mar-a-Lago anytime, as long as the president's there. But I'd love to have been in the room with President Trump when these stories broke, and he found out that DeSantis has taken the money from all these evil people.
Oh, I can imagine if Ron DeSantis doesn't drop out before the debate, I can imagine how they get destroyed.
That's right.
Man.
All right, Doug, I got to run. Thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you're looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try
Garland will indict. I believe Merrick Garland will indict Donald Trump. He wants to indict Donald.
Oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day. The buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous.
By the way, guys, there is still time to order this incredible Trump print from patrioticprintsusa.com for Father's Day. There's not a MAGA dad out there that would not love this print. They're very affordable. They come in 3 different sizes. They will arrive in time for Father's Day. patrioticprintsusa.com. That's Prince with an S. Isn't that cool? Yeah, they commissioned this artist, Michael Israel, to paint this beautiful print, or a painting, and they turned it into a print. And I love it. I have 2 of them, one here at the radio studio and one at home, hanging on my wall. patrioticprintsusa.com. That's Prince with an S. patrioticprintsusa.com. And order yours. A great Father's Day gift, guys. But, hey, it's also just a great gift for yourself. It's also just a great gift for yourself.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710. Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on
It's a print of a
106.9
painting
FM,
they commissioned.
Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on
Why-
96.9 FM.
Why are trolls such assholes? Can anybody answer that? All right. Welcome back. Was that on the air, what I just... I hope not. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Call us on hold. Stand by. Oh, man, this is an exciting announcement. Our 5th annual Steve Kane Show cruise is coming up April 27th. And the time that we're doing this is a great time. It's a week after my birthday and a couple weeks before Steve's. So this is the Steve Kane, Brian Craig birthday cruise. I'm excited. It's on the Celebrity Reflection, April 27th. We're going to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. These are the ABC Islands. And we have shore excursions planned that top any other shore excursions we've ever done, which is saying a lot, especially after that last one. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's our 5th cruise. This is amazing. You know, I was talking about the Amish. You ever heard of Rumspringa? When the Amish kids turn 18, they get to leave the farm and they go out in the real world and they get all... Well, that's me on our... You know, during the rest of the year, I get up so early. I'm working so much. I don't have time to do things. And it's the annual cruise we do with our listeners is my Rumspringa every year. That's right. That one time of year that I get to get out there and have a good time and party like it's 1999. If you've never been on one of our cruises, you will want to join this one. We have our largest group ever going on this cruise. It's going to be a great time. And now's the time to book because we're going on the Celebrity Reflection. We partner with Celebrity Cruise Lines on our cruises. And right now, the cruise line, their summer sales event is going on. So you just put down a deposit and you lock in the incredible price that's being offered right now. Call Ian. He's the travel agent that handles all of our cruises from Cruise and Travel Depot. His number's 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. That's 561-244-5779. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Nimrod, Minnesota.
Okay.
I'm going to explain to you why Biden was the best president.
Come on.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. You know what's happening? You know, we have a lot of listeners who listen online as well as the radio. And it's the summertime now. The kids are out of school. So we'll be hearing from Generation Z during the summer. And you know what you'll notice from Generation Z? They're a bunch of loser guys that don't have girlfriends. They may not even want girlfriends. I don't even know what gender they are. But it gets a little weird every summer. And typically we get online listeners from our kids out of school or out west. You know, and it's like 3 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever time it is, wherever they are. They haven't, you know. When I was out of high school for the summer, I was sleeping because I had to get up and go to work in the morning during the summer. But apparently they don't work anymore. They're just all gamers. I don't know. All right, guys. So a lot of stuff is happening. Oh, so Chris Christie announced, and Chris Christie he's a strange dude. And President Trump did something that was so funny. Did you see what Trump did? President Trump, he put out a video and of the announcement of Chris Christie, and he edited the video. He changed the background and what was in front of him, and it's Chris Christie making his presidential announcement, standing in front of an all-you-can-eat buffet. Oh my goodness, it's hilarious. But it's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But last night, Anderson Cooper on CNN did a segment on Chris Christie. Any of you watch this? Oh, this is hilarious. Listen to this. This is Anderson Cooper last night. This is his segment on the Chris Christie announcement, and he plays some clips of Christie. Listen.
Chris Christie launched his primary campaign tonight in Manchester, New Hampshire, and aimed it straight at the former president.
A lonely, self-consumed, self-serving mirror hog.
Okay, and now this is, I don't know who he's calling a hog. Has he looked in the mirror lately? But Chris Christie, a strange word choice, he called President Trump a mirror hog. What does that? I've never heard that term before. I know what it means, but anyway, let's get back to it because this cracks me up.
Chris Christie launched his primary campaign tonight in Manchester, New Hampshire, and aimed it straight at the former president.
A lonely, self-consumed, self-serving mirror hog is not a leader. Well, let me be clear, in case I have not been already. The person I am talking about, who is obsessed with the mirror, who never admits a mistake, who never admits a fault, and who always finds someone else and something else to blame for whatever goes wrong, but finds every reason to take credit for anything that goes right, is Donald Trump. And if we don't have that conversation with you, we don't deserve to ask for your vote. We don't deserve the mantle of leadership. We don't deserve to have you think of us as people worthy of leadership.
As former Governor Christie tonight, he has famously had a bumpy history with the former president. He was sharply critical during the 2016 primaries, then dropped out, re-entered the fold as a born-again Trump supporter, then broke with him again after January 6th. Here's a sampling of some of the tough words he's had for the former president.
Here we go.
In race and the run-up to tonight.
He gets criticized, he can't take it. He sits in his jammies in Trump Tower and phones in. I'm happy to take any observations he has, even if he can only do them in 140 characters or less. When you say that it is patriotic to suspend the Constitution if you believe the election's being that person is disqualified, in my view, from being president of the United States again. We keep losing and losing and losing. And the fact of the matter is, the reason we're losing is because Donald Trump has put himself before everybody else.
Well, the question now, and it's no longer academic, how will he turn that critique into primary vote? What did Christie believe?
Okay, so just talk about Chris Christie for a minute. What's going on here with Chris Christie, you know what you have with Chris Christie? You have a guy that's got a lot of time on his hands and nothing to do, but there's a handful of these candidates, Chris Christie, Mike Pence, the reason they're doing this is they have nothing else to do, and it's a money grab for them, their family, and friends. There's a lot of money in a presidential campaign. None of these campaigns have any hope of doing anything. It's just a matter of who's going to drop out first, second, third. That's all this is about. Okay? And the problem with Chris Christie that he has with Trump is this. Chris Christie thought he should be the Attorney General of the United States, and President Trump didn't make him the Attorney General, so now he's on a warpath. It's like a lot of people say Cavuto, who used to be a big Trump supporter, turned on Trump because he thought he should be the Secretary of the Treasury, and he didn't make him Secretary of Treasury, so now he's, and these people are so petty. They're so petty. Just tell the truth. I hate the guy because I wanted to be the Attorney General. He didn't give me the job. Then at least you be honest, Chris Christie. But you really have to rethink your word choice. Who thought it was a good idea for Chris Christie to start calling people a hog? Really? Really? I mean, come on. All right, listen. We'll be right back after this.
Making morning radio great again. You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, South Florida. First morning meteorologist Vanessa from WPPF 25 News.
Yeah.
First half of the day looking
He doesn't get very far, he is. Yeah.
88 degrees.
Usually he stops after it's the greatest president. He just stops
Weather brought to you by
Yep, mommy comes in.
Yeah, he's scared.
Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture, voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check, brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
In the Palm Beaches, the major expressways are still crash-free this morning between Boca Raton and Jupiter. We're starting to see some light buildups on 95 heading northbound from Deerfield Beach into Boca. Just outside of Deerfield Beach and Pompano, we have a multi-vehicle crash on the I-95 southbound ramp from Sample Road that's blocking the on-ramp right lane. 595 eastbound at Federal Highway, that multi-vehicle crash now cleared. We have a crash on West McNabb Road at Southwest 68th Avenue. This report is sponsored by Summit Racing. Summit Racing wants you to gear up your trucks or Jeep for your next off-road camping adventure. With no major parts in stock, you'll find off-road and outdoor essentials so you can camp confidently and comfortably. SummitRacing.com, everything you need for anything you drive. That's traffic on Chris Barr.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Saturday, June 10th, watch, wager, and win on the exciting Belmont Stakes at PBKC. And check out all the great OTV action in the Paddock Restaurant with over 130 new HD TVs and big screens, delicious lunches, a full bar, and an impressive wine list. PBKC is your entertainment destination with poker, casino table games, OTV, exceptional dining, and exciting events like the 155th running of the Belmont this Saturday. Go to pbkennelclub.com for more info.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station West El Rey, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back. And women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Are you caring for your husband or wife with Alzheimer's disease or dementia? A study funded by the National Institutes of Health is looking to understand what your experience has been like as a spousal caregiver. Participation will include 4 online visits completed in the comfort of your own home. You will be monetarily compensated for your time. For more information, please call us at 713-348-8167. That is 713-348-8167. Once again, that is 713-348-8167.
If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta.
I'll recap the DeSantis stuff. Don't worry.
Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an insurance claim, call your insurance company immediately. Then call Tom Laporta. New laws are in effect that allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Are you a business owner? Are you interested in growing your bottom line? Then it's time to join the Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce with members from Jupiter to Miami. You can mingle at their monthly breakfast or after-hours network. Join a leads group. Learn something new at a masterclass or attend one of 3 women's events. There are over 300 events to choose from, including one for young professionals. Sound interesting? Call Allison or check out bocachamber.com. There is a 95% business tax deduction if you join before the end of the year.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, we are back, coming up on 34 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Lots of big news, which I'll recap in just a bit. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Wild show this.
Oh my goodness. Let me recap these things for people that are just tuning in, Steve. Yeah. Yeah.
Sit back and let you recap, and we'll take over from there. Who broke this story about the DeSantis having the same lobbyist as the former?
Well, there's two different news sources. Both of them are not in the United States. One of them is the Daily Mail in England, and the other one's the Post Millennial, which you're not familiar with, but it's a very credible conservative news outlet out of Canada. So yeah.
Until this morning, the story broken in this country?
It was broken right here about an hour and 20 minutes ago on this radio station in the United States. We broke the story in the United States today, right here this morning on this program. That's correct.
This country yet?
Well, we are taking the lead on this story. Now, I want to recap it because the story is so insane. It is. I know it sounds so fantastical it cannot be true. It is true. And I can either just summarize it or read through the story. Let me read through the stories a little bit because they give details, which give credibility to the story. And you guys, by the way, Greg too called himself Greg for DeSantis. Where is Greg for DeSantis and all these other DeSantis people that like Bob Reich and all these DeSantis people?
Profile today would be my best guess.
Well, they should be more upset than we are. They've been backing this guy, and that's right. I mean, that's exactly right. Okay, now, yeah.
I'm just trying to sharpen this in my mind. Do you think that DeSantis knew this when he hired the guy, or do you think this is coming as a surprise?
No, I think he's been with these people all along. He was always a liar and hiding behind Trump and pretending to be something he wasn't. So here's.
Too. I mean, to leave yourself open like that.
I don't know if I think it more likely is greed. He's greedy. So this is the first story, and this one is the least of the problems. I mean, he's got two big problems here that are the two different stories that I believe are campaign-ending events. Here's the first one. It's been revealed that one of DeSantis's bundlers' presidential campaign, bundlers are the guys that do all the fundraising, they organize donors and do these big fundraising. Yeah, his name is Slater Bayless. He is the number 3 campaign bundler for the DeSantis for President campaign. And he's a partner with the lobbying organization that works for Anheuser-Busch, which is Bud Light. So the name is Slater Bayless. You can look that up. Yeah, so that's Bud Light. Yeah. The other one, and this one's worse than that one, and this is insane, and it's crazy. A lobbyist for vaccine manufacturer Moderna and for the maker of the leading puberty blocker given to transgender children to block puberty is holding a fundraising event for Ron DeSantis in D.C. this month. By the way, he's not just a lobbyist for the puberty blocker and the vaccine manufacturer Moderna. He's also a registered foreign agent for a Chinese semiconductor company that was sanctioned by the Trump administration.
Question is, I mean, we're assuming DeSantis knew about it.
Mark Lampkin is his name, Mark with a C.
But, I mean, if this went on and DeSantis knew about it.
Oh, he knows about it.
Well,
Steve, I know about it. I know about it. He knows about it.
Well, you would think so. And if he doesn't know about it, that raises a whole bunch of
Yeah. He's never been with us. He has not betrayed us because he was never with us. He was.
Somewhere along the way, did the brain dead press corps.
Well, we have a line open for the governor if he'd like to call in, and we can set the record straight. At 1-888-GO-CANE-1.
If Eric is listening, he may.
Eric Trump? Oh.
that he's listening.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sure. Oh, yeah, Eric. All right, well. All right, let's take some calls here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
George Lakeland.
Mm-hmm. What's up, George?
George.
Hey, good morning. About DeSantis, let me tell you, your nightmares have just begun. If he can speak the way you say, whatever, he turns around and decides to go against Trump as an independent. That's the beginning of your nightmare. Is that possible? Or would
no.
Turn around and Trump would...
I don't even know what you're saying.
Why would you think? Wait. Why would you think? I'm interested in how your mind works here. Why would you think that DeSantis would do any better as a third-party candidate than he's doing as a
exactly
candidate?
Well, that'd be the same question you asked about Ross Perot.
Well, wait a minute. We're not talking about Ross Perot. Just I may be going too fast for you, for which I apologize. So let me slow down and let's take the question. Because good question. I mean, you should be eager to answer this, especially since I'm giving you a little time, but buying you a little time here to think of an answer. If DeSantis can't touch Trump running directly against him as an independent candidate, why would you think he would do better as a third-party candidate? If you just explain that to me, I'll see your point, I guess.
Are you ready for an answer?
I sure am. Are you done thinking about it and buying time?
I thought about it before I called.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, what's the answer?
Okay, because Brian Craig has acknowledged and said that DeSantis is part of the deep state. That would take votes away from Trump, and that's not a good thing. That's not good at all.
Those are votes that Trump's not getting now.
And Ross Perot was the same.
No, it's a Steve, just let me step in here. I think you should be a little easy on this guy. You're asking him to think of things. The guy lives in Lakeland.
You told me, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll talk more slowly and
yeah.
Well, I think pretty good. I think pretty good when I do neighborhood watch. Have a good day.
What's that? What are you watching for in Lakeland? What are you watching for?
Now it all becomes clear, sir.
Anyone who chooses to spend their elder years in Lakeland is someone who is of diminished mental capacity. Yeah. It's true.
It's a good question, sir. You have a permanent invite to call back anytime.
I didn't think the Lakeland thing, that's what did him in, Steve. Oh, my goodness. You know, Ross Perot got Bill Clinton elected, but it's a whole nother situation. Ross Perot had something going for him that DeSantis doesn't. He had the support of millions of people. And he was brought in as a disruptor to probably by the Democrats to stop George Bush. Remember George Bush after the Gulf War I had 91% approval rating, and he lost to Bill Clinton because Ross Perot split the Republican vote. That ain't going to happen with DeSantis. You know, Steve, the story with DeSantis that I'm sharing with you, these are devastating stories. The Moderna vaccine manufacturer, the puberty blocker lobbyist, and Bud Light, all at once, these things happening. And the CCP money, the guy is the least of it, right? I mean, he might as well be taking money from Planned Parenthood and Disney with these people, with these types of lobbyists doing things for him. It pretty bad.
I can't wait to see what the Donald does with this.
Well, we'll see.
It'll be fun. This will come out at the most inopportune time for opponents, I can promise.
I would imagine DeSantis will stay away from a press conference. He can't avoid reporters, but I don't think he'll have an official press conference anytime soon because he can't ignore the questions. When there's just random questions being yelled at him somewhere, he can pretend not to hear or not answer. To have an official press conference, he'd be done right now. I mean, this is, as far as I'm concerned, these stories are, for him right now, campaign-ending level stories. These are huge. And we're not going to let it go. And I know a lot of people like us, including President Trump and others, are going to pick up on this and run with it. And he is in big trouble. You know, it shows that he's just your typical, he's the worst kind of politician. He's as sleazy as Biden. to be. I mean, how can he be pushing against the transgender puberty blockers, but have the puberty blocker lobbyists working for him?
No chance that DeSantis didn't know about it.
Oh, I think there's a 100% chance he did know about it. Yeah, he's been with these people all. Steve, he was never with us or Trump. He was a Donnie Brasco. He was an undercover agent for the Republican establishment all along. Okay? He didn't betray us because he was never with us. I mean, did Donnie Brasco betray Pacino? I don't think so. He was working for the feds. Yeah, and Donnie Brasco was working for the same people as DeSantis, right? The feds and the establishment. Now, listen, we're going to take our last break of the hour. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. I'm Brian, Steve Kane's here. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day. The buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
The 8th annual Delray Beach Summer Green Market is back again. This open-air farmers market starts on June 3rd and continues to July 29th on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Located on the corner of Swinton Avenue and East Atlantic on the front lawn of the Old School Square. Shop with South Florida's premier farmers, bakers, small batch culinary food artisans, and witness local chefs showing off their cooking demonstrations. The Green Market is open rain or shine, pet-friendly, and has free parking. The Green Market is a licensed SNAP provider, so you can shop with eligible SNAP vendors. Double your SNAP benefits at the Green Market with fresh access bucks, dollar-for-dollar match. You SNAP, we match. This is a program of the Delray Beach Community Redevelopment Agency. See you on Saturday.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone-on-bone or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery. We've been in practice for 75 years in South Florida. You don't have to live with pain any longer. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
So, do you have hay fever?
I do have hay fever pretty
Can
bad.
I tell you what's so great for hay fever? It's the Bloomers Frozen Drink CBD mixers. It's great for this time of the year because it's so restorative. So Bloomers Frozen Drinks has CBD, but I'll tell you what else they have that's really amazing. They have Frosé Mix. So if you like frozen wine cocktails, frozen sangria, frozen rosé, Bloomers Frosé Mix is the best one. And it's the #1 selling drink mix on Amazon. So you can pick it up there. It's prime, it's quick, it's fast, but all the Bloomers products are available on bloomersfrozendrinks.com.
I was going to say, I think I've seen them in local liquor stores too.
They are, and we have a new brand launching called Ben's Badass Bloody Mary Mix, so look for that because we're going to have our resting brunch face on.
This sounds perfect. Once again, I'm going to go to bloomersfroze.com.
Thank you.
Sometimes a family needs a little help to deal with life stresses. You can contribute to happy, healthy childhoods with a few simple steps. Notice families under stress. Offer a helping hand. Give your time. Talk about healthy child development. Connect a family with resources. Contributing to a great childhood can be as easy as being a good neighbor. For more, preventchildabusefl.org. This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Just huge news being broken. But before we get back to that, I got to, we are a week and a half away for the most important day of the year, which of course is Father's Day, Steve. And and a week from Sunday. A week from Sunday is Father's Day, and there is still time to order your incredible print of the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, from patrioticprintsusa.com. And, patrioticprintsusa.com, These prints are very, very affordable. I have two of them, one here at the radio studio, one hanging on my wall at home. They come in multiple sizes. There's not a MAGA dad out there who would not want one of these beautiful prints. And patrioticprintsusa.com, donate a portion of each print sold to President Trump's official 2024 re-election campaign, by the way. Yeah, that's right. And patrioticprintsusa.com, that's prints with an S. What they did is they commissioned this beautiful painting from a very well-known artist, Michael Israel, of our president, and they turned it into this beautiful print. And you can have yours. If you're not a dad, all right, you want to buy it for yourself, it's a great, great print, and it's a limited edition being offered first to our listeners. And it may not get beyond our listeners, Steve, because it's selling so well, they may run out of these limited edition prints with just our listeners, but it's yep.
Reasonably priced that even if you've already purchased another gift for Dad, this could be an add-on.
Oh, yeah.
You give him two gifts, and again, it's not going to break your budget because it's very, very, very companies that want to.
That's a lot.
Very affordable.
Oh, yeah.
Give them a call and make this Father's Day to remember.
Mm-hmm. That's sure. It's patrioticprintsusa.com. That's prints with an S. patrioticprintsusa.com. All right, so this other story that I had today, which is, this one's going to be developing a lot today, is Tucker Carlson's new show made its debut last night. And already, without any announcement, he just did it. It went out and already has over 50 million views, and it was spectacular. Over 50 million views already, and it's growing. And since everyone's going to be talking about it today in media, well, not the mainstream cable news media, but you know, people like us will. No, Fox will not report on it. They're not going to report on it. Steve, Tucker. No, they're not. Steve, Tucker Carlson not only beat Fox News, he had more people have viewed that already than watched all of cable news combined last night in prime time. All cable news combined.
People right after Tucker got fired, everybody was calling in worried about the survival of his career.
Oh my goodness.
Don't worry about Tucker. Tucker will be fine.
Oh, it was great, and it was a spectacular show. The cable news, as its relevancy is over in American society. It's over. It's done. And what's going to happen with Tucker Carlson, there's going to be other mainstreamers at his level that eventually wind up doing what he's doing. And it was a very, very, very good show. You wouldn't have liked it, the content, Steve, but it was a very good show. Well, he exposed some things that you wouldn't like about Zelensky. Yeah, well, he did some very good reporting and analysis. And Tucker Carlson's conclusion is that Zelensky committed an act of terrorism, and the media won't report on it because he's everything goodness. Everything good comes from Zelensky. But it was a very good show, and over 50 million have watched it already. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Sandra from Boca. How are you?
All right, what's up?
No, it's just I was listening to a thing about Chris Christie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, what kind of a candidate has to launch their campaign in that fashion? It just reflects.
The answer is a desperate candidate is the answer.
Well, it reflects really the deep insecurity already of that candidate. He really made a very, very bad
decision. If you went through life weighing 600 pounds, you'd probably be insecure too.
Yeah, I tend not to support presidential candidates that can't see their penis when they're urinating, but you know, Chris. I know. Listen, kids are out of school. The thing about Chris Christie, the reason he did that attack on Trump is he knew that if he attacked Trump, he'd be all over the cable news. Right? If he just went out there and announced, I'm Chris Christie, I'm fat as hell, and I'm running for president, nobody'd run that.
Very old, very fast.
Yeah.
That's true. It's just that anybody who would listen to him, who understands, say, you know what, not fit.
But what? And when he called Trump a hog, he called him a mirror hog. But who's he to be calling people pigs? And Christie, you know what Donald Trump did with it. I described this earlier. Yeah.
I love that picture that's been around for a long time now of Christie on the beach in that beach.
Oh my goodness, the beach. Yeah.
Let me ask you another question.
Like a
Let me ask you another question. What example would he give of Trump as being self-serving? That's another thing that bothered me.
Exactly. You know, the thing. You know, he is the only person, and this is, and I challenge anyone, and let's stick to the modern era during the time of television, but you may be able to go back to General Washington. To my knowledge, President Trump is the only president who was worth less money than when he went into the presidency because he had to leave his business for 4 years, right? So that he missed out on a lot of deals. It cost him money. Here they're threatening to indict him again this week. In D.C., they're trying to put him in jail. All they want him to do is drop out. He's still running, even though he's facing jail by these snakes. But Chris Christie says he's self-centered and a mirror hog. Give me a break.
Did you see that?
Pence is a scumbag, okay? And you know, Pence, I never liked Pence. And I remember when President Trump picked Pence, I talked about this at the time. I said, I don't trust Pence, because I don't know what his real personality is, right? You don't get to see what his real personality is. Yeah. Benedict, yeah.
As he has had some humongous amount of cosmetic surgery.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Definitely.
It's not good. When you look like he does, it's, I mean, it just didn't come out. It didn't.
The timing of that is very poor.
Yeah.
When he's, you know, I just looked at a picture of him. He's had his face pulled back so much. And this is what happens, Steve. The sideburns grow on the back of the neck. You know what I mean? It really is. He's had his face. He didn't leave enough time for the cosmetic work to settle before he went out on the campaign trail.
Wax figure at Madame Tussauds.
Yeah. Yeah.
My final thoughts on DeSantis. DeSantis, unbelievable about what you said about the donors. But
well, this isn't me saying it. This is being reported in the Post-Millennial and in the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail, by the way, is the most read English language newspaper on the planet.
The press going to ignore this. How are they going to not cover this? I mean, this is a shocking revelation, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
you know what Rob Perot said to Bill Clinton during the debate many, many years ago? I'll never forget this statement. Because he's all that, and Clinton's all that, and he's trying to make himself all that, and finally Ross Perot said, you know what, just because you run a small store at Walmart, it doesn't mean you can run the whole chain.
Well, I learned something about Ross Perot. That's true. I learned something about, you okay, Steve? I learned something about Ross Perot a couple months ago that shocked me. You know, he's no longer with this Ross Perot. I voted for Ross Perot. That was my first presidential election I could vote in, and I voted for him. He's deep state. Do you know the Tonkin Gulf incident that got us into Vietnam? That lie that the VC Navy attacked a U.S. naval destroyer? You know the Tonkin Gulf incident? You're familiar with it, Steve. You were there. Okay. Do you know who the naval aviator who flew in and gave air cover to the U.S. Navy ship that supposedly was under attack by the VC in the Tonkin Gulf incident? Admiral Stockdale. So this is, I couldn't believe it. In fact, a lot of you guys don't know about the Tonkin Gulf incident. You'll go look it up. It's the whole Lyndon Johnson lie that got us into the Vietnam War. And Admiral Stockdale, he was a commander in the Navy then. He was in charge of and he flew the air cover for the American ship that was called in during that fake attack. And he was Ross Perot's vice presidential running mate. What are the chances that the guy, and I don't remember, I followed that campaign very closely, and I did not know until 2 months ago I was watching a documentary about the Tonkin Gulf incident, about Admiral Stockdale being there. Never heard that before. He was deep state. Deep state brought him in. They wanted Bill Clinton in.
Stockdale had to fix his hearing aids during the debate, remember?
Yeah. Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But that tells me that Ross Perot was deep state, and the deep state were in that. Hey, by the way, thanks for the call. All right.
I don't live here, and you know me, I love predictions. Whether I turn out to be right or wrong, sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other. I can't believe this story is not going to break in the United States.
Well, it broke here 2 hours ago.
I can't believe that the entire press corps of the United States is going to be. I mean, that's like. It's.
Well, I'm doing my best. I'm gonna. It's shocking. It's shocking. But listen, we got to take our break, all right, for the top of the hour. I'm going to recap that when we get back for people that are just tuning in. I mean, I think we have the biggest story of the month. We broke on this program at the top of the show. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. We'll be back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show.
You have to do right as a roofing contractor, especially
Patio Furniture
consider
Weather
yourself
Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Wow.
We'll see a lot of sunshine and temperature in the lower 80s. Later this afternoon, hot and humid with a high of 88 degrees. We'll see some
Somebody just sent me something that just blew my mind. I can't share it with you on the air, though. Right, I gotta look at it after the show. I might show it on the podcast. So I'm thinking, I usually don't do this. I usually do this after the show, okay? But on the podcast today, I think I might make the thumbnail on my podcast, Ron DeSantis. What do you guys think? Ron DeSantis. Slick Pickles came up with that DeSantis thing. I think it's pretty good. Ron Dun-Santis. What do you guys think? I mean, that's like the biggest story.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Saturday, June 10th, watch, wager, and win on the exciting Belmont Stakes at PBKC. And check out all the great OTV action in the Paddock Restaurant with over 130 new HD TVs and big screens, delicious lunches, a full bar, and an impressive wine list. PBKC is your entertainment destination with poker, casino table games, OTV, exceptional dining, and exciting events like the 155th running of the Belmont this Saturday. Go to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. The system includes LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and backup battery. But most importantly, the people who stand behind it. So call Sloman's at 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. Sloman's, the difference is human.
On the air since 1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, man. Big update here, Steve. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. Welcome back, everyone. It is Wednesday. We're just breaking all kinds of news today. I'll recap the campaign-ending stories on Ron DeSantis, and I don't think that's an exaggeration, Steve. I mean, I don't say that lightly. I mean, he's taken, but got... The firing just highlights it and make it worse. It'll get it in the news faster if he starts firing people. No. And then it'll come out that he knew, and as a lie. It'll be worse when he does that, because then we'll find out he knew. But anyway, got an update on Tucker Carlson. This is huge. Now, I predicted that when they fired Tucker Carlson at Fox News, that cable news was dead in America. Its time was over. They made themselves irrelevant by that. And Tucker Carlson debuted his new show last night. It's called Tucker on Twitter. And it's in the same set that he used on Fox Nation. You ever see him in that set that looks like a barn? It's the same set. It's at his house. It doesn't have all the Fox News stuff behind it. That's all gone. He's got, it looks like some farm equipment there. I don't know what that is. A hoe, a plow. I don't know what that stuff is behind him. But anyway, it was really an amazing show. It's only about 10, 11 minutes long. And he didn't even announce it. He just put it online. And it already had, he put it online, Steve, 14 hours ago. Right now, it has over 58 million views in just 14 hours. When I left my house this morning, it had 45 million views. When I went on the air at 6, it had 51 million views. Now it's at 58. And it's growing because everyone's waking up and people are going to be talking about it all day. This is one of the biggest news stories about the news media in years. And, we're getting to this point where the state-controlled mainstream media have done themselves in with their arrogance, and who they thought they had, they still, to my knowledge, have not officially fired Tucker. They're trying to, the reason they haven't is because of his non-compete. Well, this is what I'm thinking based on everything I've seen. So the reason they haven't fired him, when they fire him, the non-compete kicks in. However long that is, we don't know. And their goal with that was to try to keep him out of circulation until after the election, because he's so important. No, yes, 58 million views with his first show debut. The way yes. And apparently there was something left out of his contract and his non-compete clauses that allow him to do this, because a week or two ago he announced he was going to do it. They didn't stop him, and he did it. And 58 million views. It's the same format as his TV show when he does. It's his opening monologue kind of format. And it's only episode 1, and I imagine he'll have guests on as well. Well, he's done it. Oh. I imagine the Murdoch family have been up all night in meetings over this on the phone, wherever they are in the world. It's huge. It's amazing. 58 million plus views already in just 14 hours. The mainstream lying, state-controlled propagandist media is done. And I only wish that Andrew Breitbart was alive to see this, because he predicted this years ago before they killed him. It's amazing. I mean, this is amazing. I knew when he announced he was going to do this Twitter show, I knew it'd have a few million people, but not approaching 60 million just like that without any promotion or announcement. He just put it out there because it's one of the reasons this is the longest running radio show. There's a hunger in this country for honesty and truth when you're talking about news. And the state-controlled propagandists on the mainstream media, they don't give you that. And now we've got it. And if the powers that be knew, if they could see in the future what's happening with Tucker right now, they never would have let Elon Musk buy Twitter. And oh my goodness, oh yeah, I mean this, they did themselves in on this one, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. Now I want to recap the Ron DeSantis story before we break, and I want to take some calls on both Tucker Carlson and it doesn't mean that I agree with Tucker Carlson on everything. Okay, I don't always agree with Tucker Carlson, but I think Tucker Carlson next to us is the most trusted man in America, right? That mantle from, it used to be Cronkite. No. It'd be you and me and then Tucker. But nationwide, Tucker Carlson is the most trusted man in the news business today. He really is. It doesn't mean we always agree with him. He was talking about the space aliens yesterday. I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe in aliens visiting the Earth and any of that stuff. But what his analysis on Ukraine, you may not agree with it, or maybe you do, but you still can trust him. Now, I believe it too. I'll send you, Steve. I'll send you his show from last night. You watch it, and no, this was new. This was all new stuff. I think it might wake you up on Zelensky. His first, he also announced he's going to be interviewing Robert Kennedy Jr. So Robert Kennedy Jr. Has with him on the campaign trail a journalist that's reporting on him, who was covering his father and was in the room when he was killed. And I know, it's crazy. Robert Kennedy ran into him yesterday and was shocked. Robert Kennedy was 14 years old when they killed his dad. I didn't realize he was that old. So he knew him well. And this is Robert Kennedy, not John Kennedy. Oh yes, of course. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Well, but we'll have to, after the break, recap Ron DeSantis. But when we get back, I'm going to give out the number. I want to take some of your calls both on Tucker. I mean, this is just astounding what he's done. There's no way that they're not freaking out over at Fox News Channel. They did this to themselves. Right? They're probably trying to figure out a legal way, even though I'm sure they've had these discussions. They're probably reviewing it to keep him off the air. Well, they've been doing that already, and they weren't able to stop him. So if you have any comments on Tucker, if you saw it, you're welcome to call in. And I want to hear your thoughts on Governor DeSantis. I believe Governor DeSantis these stories about Ron DeSantis are worse than if he were caught with a woman. Because when that happens, conservatives are Christian and forgiving, but this and is a betrayal of everything he's fighting for. We'll recap that and get into some more detail about it after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We're so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest locally owned, family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top-quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens.
If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with the Homeowners Association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation. Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an insurance claim, call your insurance company immediately. Then call Tom Laporta. New laws are in effect that allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, laportacontracting.com. Middleman
Watch about 150 people come across. You can see the end of the wall down there. And we've watched about 150 people come across. In the last hour, the first group were about 50 or 60 people from Africa, from West Africa.
Middleman Eye, 2 locations in Jupiter Gardens and West Palm Beach. Call 561-500-EYES. Online at middlemaneye.com. Call or text the Middleman Eye Center today at 561-500-2020 to make an appointment in West Palm Beach or Jupiter.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious. Crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade. Nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FLA.
All right, we are back. Now, before we get back into the news, I just want to tell you guys about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton. What he does is absolutely amazing. He will rid you of your pain. He's done it with me 3 times, 3 different parts of my body, and 3 different types of pain. My knee pain, years of suffering, 2 treatments with his laser away pain treatment, gone. And it's not returned. It's been over a year. Second time was my arthritis pain in my hand. 1 treatment with the laser away pain treatment with Dr. Appleton, gone. My shoulder pain, 1 treatment with the laser away pain treatment, gone. None of these pains have returned. Works on all kinds of pain too. Bursitis, work injuries, sports injuries, strains and sprains, tinnitus, sciatica, rotary tears, herniated disc. If you're in pain, Dr. Appleton can help. No appointment is necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. All right, you can find him online at AppletonChiro.com or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. I want to play this audio. We were talking about Robert Kennedy in the last segment, so I want to play this. He went to the border yesterday, and unlike Kamala, he went to the action, and he's standing in front of the Great Wall of Trump, but it's at the portion where they stopped the building. So all the illegals are lined up to come through the opening of where the wall stops, you know. But he was talking. This is Robert Kennedy. He's got the Katharine Hepburn voice going on here, but he's talking about very specifically the people that are coming through the border and where they're from, and that's why I'm playing this. So listen, this is Robert Kennedy at the border yesterday.
Hey everybody, I'm at the border wall around Yuma, Arizona. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. We've watched about 150 people come across. You can see the end of the wall down there. And we've watched about 150 people come across in the last hour. The first group were about 50 or 60 people from Africa, from West Africa. This group that is filing behind me right now, we interviewed many of them. They're from Peru, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India.
You know, all the Muslim countries, you know, from West Africa. I thought these were all refugees from Venezuela, Steve. That's what they're telling us on the news. I mean, my goodness. China. The Chinese are coming through the border.
All together, people have come across right here from 117 nations in the last couple of years. In 3 years, in total, 7 million people have come across.
Wow. That's crazy. You know, what I found most interesting about it, not that there's people coming and how many are coming, but where they're coming from. And Robert Kennedy's one of the few people I've seen down there that actually says where they're coming from. And he interviewed them off camera. A lot of times, if you watch, whenever you see the press, like they'll go up to the buses when they drop them off, like in front of Kamala's house or something, and they ask them where they're from. They all say Venezuela. And the reason they say Venezuela is because of the political situation. You automatically get refugee status if you're fleeing Venezuela. So they all say, they all tell the officials they're from Venezuela, right? And Robert Kennedy's going down there and he interviewed them off camera without the officials there, and they're telling him where they're really from, right? Afghanistan, China. Now, and that's pretty scary. I don't know what's going on down there, Steve. I don't know what they're thinking in Washington. Well, you know, the only thing is no matter what Biden does, you know he's doing it for money. I mean, that's why he does everything he does.
I mean, when's enough already?
Well, when you have two kids that are drug addicts and have every vice known to humans except gambling. I've never heard anything about gambling, but sex, drugs, hookers, you know, money goes fast with that kind of lifestyle. And he's got two kids that have those problems. So, you know, and he only gets 10%, right? The big guy, his cut's only 10%.
So we found out.
Yeah. No, but this, you know, Robert Kennedy is because I've been watching, since I've left Fox News, I've been watching some of the liberal stuff. They're very worried about Robert Kennedy, the Democrats. Very worried. They're really in a panic over him because everyone likes the Kennedys. Not Ted Kennedy, but everybody has respect for Bobby Kennedy and President Kennedy, pretty much, right? I mean, you know, and he doesn't sound like his dad, but he looks like his dad. And people that don't even that have hated the Kennedys all their life, like Bobby Kennedy, you know, and he's he's a direct representative. So he is a bigger threat to the Democrat. He is very likely to end up as the Democrat nominee. When they, when things start heating up, I don't know how well he'll do in debates because he's got the voice problem.
It's hard to understand it.
Yeah, it's a problem. But you know, he did. This didn't get any publicity. He did a Twitter town hall with Elon Musk, like DeSantis did, and it went all without a hitch. And you know, and he does a lot of these interviews, and you never really hear about them in the news because the media are afraid of him.
Who try to downplay his candidacy. I don't think they're gonna wait till it's too late. And I don't know that he has the charisma factor. I know he's, you know, I mean, he's largely writing on his dead dad's history, which I'm not sure that's enough to get past the.
Steve, I think people that follow politics and things like this have a thing for the Kennedys, except Ted Kennedy and Carolyn Kennedy. But the other Kennedys, people love Bobby Kennedy.
Category, that's true, but for younger people, they were not raised in the traditions of the Kennedy legend.
Well, I was born after they were all dead, you know, that they were both killed, and I would love to meet Robert Kennedy and shake him in studio, shake his hand. I don't know I don't know if I could take the voice. Okay, yeah, if somehow Trump did not get the nomination, which is not going to happen, okay, I think a lot of MAGA people would vote for Robert Kennedy. You know, one of his big things, if Trump were not nominated, if Trump were not running, but he is, and he'll get the nomination. But if he wasn't, or they took the nomination gave it to DeSantis somehow, I think a lot of MAGA people would vote for Robert Kennedy. He talks about a lot of things that Trump talks about. He'd be a good partner with Trump. He's exposing the border. Yeah, I could see him running as vice president with Trump. I know they'll all say no now, but I could see it happening. He talks honestly about the border, like you just heard. He's always talking about the vaccines. He's very anti that. A lot of MAGA people are into that. There's a lot of things that he talks about the deep state a lot and how they killed his dad and his uncle. And you know what I mean? And so, in particular, the FBI, he talks about. So a lot of the big things that Robert Kennedy hits on are Trump positions. You know, and a lot of MAGA people like Robert Kennedy. All right, listen, we'll take our break for the bottom. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
of our flooring options. The high style and emphasizes on products that add value, aesthetics, and ease of everyday living. Make Carlson the best choice for your next flooring purchase. Here at Will Flooring, part of our flooring options. The high style on that new Carlson carpet who has long been a household name. We want our new homeowners to discover the great value in Carlson products. We have the entire carpet collection from trendy patterns, full textures, and for the special room, cozy extra soft carpet. For the extra busy area, select a waterproof luxury vinyl planker tile or wood visuals that add value and class in any home. Let's not forget Will Floor Use commitment to low prices every day. Visit our hair scan showroom in Jupiter and Stewart and on the web at willfloor.com and let your hometown floor store that has it all for you.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day. The buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow.
Guys, by the way, there's still time to order from mypillow.com for Father's Day. You know, if you order from mypillow.com, it will arrive in time for Father's Day. And there's some incredible specials. I was talking today about the towel special,
I'm coming down with something.
which is just amazing. The 6-piece MyPillow towel set is 50% off, just $25 with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. It's an incredible deal. The MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology, I have one of these, is 40% off and free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout. These are all great Father's Day gifts. The bathrobe sale is in place for Father's Day. When you use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, the MyPillow bathrobe, just $59.98. $59.98. That is a great price. All sizes, all colors, all styles, just $59.98 with our promo code Kane. These are all great Father's Day gifts. They will arrive in time for Father's Day. And, the MyPillow 2.0 is buy one, get one free with the cooling technology.
Celebrating 46 years on the...
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Our number 1 888 go Kane 1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Patty. How are you?
All right, Patty, what's up?
Hey, I totally 100% agree with you, Brian, about Kennedy, that if Trump were not running, that a lot of MAGA people would vote for him. He's, he definitely, after what's happened to his family, and the reason why his family was taken out was because they were going against what the Democrat Party wanted. And, so we know that he's not going to be part of that, deep state.
Well, the thing about, Robert Kennedy says that the deep state killed his dad and his uncle because they wanted us out of Vietnam. And he said, after President Kennedy was killed, Johnson immediately increased our presence. He said his dad was running on a total withdrawal from Vietnam campaign, and they killed him. Nixon becomes president, and then boom, sends in much more, and escalated the war. And the reason I say MAGA people would sort Robert, he's still a Democrat. I'm sure he's pro-abortion, but there's a lot of big issues that Robert Kennedy is right on. The border, the deep state, and he talks a lot about the vaccines and stuff too, which get a lot of people going. But he'd be a great partner for Trump.
Definitely think so. I think if those two got together, they would suck the Democrat votes plus the Republican.
But the Democrats are in I read an article in The Hill this morning. They're in a panic over him, and it'll become super big. He was traveling the country, and he had a woman in every port around the country when he was on this tour, and
Kennedy proclivity.
Exactly. Yeah, and I remember there were like, he was married, there were diaries and things. I can't remember all the details. It's been a long time.
You know what, though, Brian? I don't care who these guys sleep with. I don't care what they do in their personal life. I need a president that's going to bring good policies and protect this country.
We all
you know,
but wait a minute. But there's one thing. I mean, I'm not opposed to I'm neutral on Robert Kennedy. I mean, I'm so high on Donald Trump that it's hard for me to get enthused about anyone else. But you gotta you can be for Kennedy, but you want to stay realistic. The difference between Robert Kennedy, the biggest difference, as I see it, between Robert Kennedy and
Biden?
Trump,
no.
Trump, is Trump has charisma. Robert Kennedy is zero on the charisma scale. And that's, let's face it,
right.
For better or worse, that's a big thing now.
Well, this is what they're not gonna. He's not gonna get the nomination. Okay, at some point he'll drop out. But when Robert Kennedy drops out, if he were to endorse Trump, that would go a long way and bring a lot of Democrats to Trump.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree.
No matter who he nominated, I mean, no matter who the candidate was, don't you think?
I don't know. So what else did you have, caller? I cut you off there. I'm sorry.
The other thing is that Trump's unstoppable, and I truly do believe that the reason why YouTube and is starting to lighten up and say that it's okay to talk about election integrity.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to talk about past elections.
Mm.
It's about the coming election, because they're already setting up that if Trump wins, they know that Trump's going to win. So they're already setting it up so that people can go out there on YouTube and blast about election integrity.
Mm.
So they're already trying to think 2 steps ahead.
No, I think you're being a little too paranoid. I think you're being too paranoid. Things are so bad. Things are. Well, I'm trying to tell you, things are so bad right now. Things are so bad in this country right now. They want Biden out. They want the Democrats out. They want the Democrats gone. Trump is so popular, he's unstoppable, and they want to get out of this trouble we're in. The economy is in a bad spot right now.
I hope you're right. Because you know what, I really hope that and they are saying that a lot of Democrats are going to run to the Republican side and vote for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get so bad, and I really honestly hope that's right. I hope they've learned their lesson. I hope they've opened their eyes.
Well, listen, the last, what's happened, the last 2 years have been really dark times in this country. I mean, you look at what happened yesterday. There were 2 stories in New York yesterday that are just sick. Rockefeller Plaza, they took down they have all those international flags, the UN flags. They took them all down and replaced them all with rainbow flags. They took the flag of every country down, and yeah. And then they had that vending machine for the crack pipes that got emptied. Yeah, the crack pipe vending machine they put out. It had condoms in it, and it had that drug for when people overdose too. But it had crack pipes in it. My goodness, I remember crack pipes used to get you arrested. That's drug paraphernalia. But the things that are going on in this country and the crime wave happening in these big cities, a lot of people that were anti-Trump, anti-Republican, they live in these cities where crime is out of control. Homeless and drug addicts and criminals are running the cities.
Worse before it gets better.
Correct, and they want out of it, even if it means Trump. Yeah. That's yeah.
But but we have to give all the podcast people like you, the whole thing with Tucker, that's awesome. People are starting to run away from where they're being brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
it's great that the independent journalists are doing what they're doing, and thank God McCarthy reviewed January 6th.
Yeah. Well, listen, let me run, but thank you for the call. Marjorie Taylor Greene's been taking a lot of heat. She came out a couple days ago and said something that about not releasing the January 6th tapes. And a lot of conservatives are attacking her on that, and they leave out when they play the audio on TV, because I had watched it when she originally said it, and I didn't think too much of it, and then I've seen it all over social media, and it has the whole thing she said clipped a little bit. She said she doesn't want to release the raw January 6th tapes because she says the powers that be, she said liberals around the country, they'll start trying to identify other people in there and send the feds in to destroy their lives, like all these people in the D.C. Gitmo. You understand what I'm saying? And she's right on that. And this new debut with Tucker Carlson, what I'm really looking forward to from him at some point is to tell us what went on with those January 6 tapes. They gave him the January 6, that first night he did, and he showed what happened with the Viking, the shaman, which was insane. How they led him around. He was led around by the Capitol Police, and they were trying to find an open, unlocked door in the Senate chamber to get him to that photographer that was waiting for him to make him the face of the news for this photographer from the fake news media that was in there. Tucker got that guy released from prison. He was in prison, the shaman. They let him out because of Tucker's reporting. And that was only night one. And when you're doing something, you see this with James O'Keefe. When you're doing something, you don't start with the end. You start with something good, but not the best, and you build and build. Like today, when I broke the Ron DeSantis donor, right? I started with Bud Light, which was good, but the big one was that he's got the donor with the puberty blockers for the trans kids and the Moderna. You understand what I mean? I did a build-up to the better, you know what I mean? And whatever Tucker Carlson did on Monday, as good as it was, whatever he had planned for Thursday and Friday was huge. And he never got that far. So I want to hear Tucker Carlson discuss that whole event at Fox with the January 6th reporting he was doing and what he had those other 4 nights that we never got to see, and if he has those tapes now. If he got the shaman released from prison after just the first night, could you imagine what would have happened by the end of the week? And that's why they took him off, okay? That's why they fired him at Fox. Well, not fired. He still works for Fox. That's why they took him off the air, okay? All right, listen, we're going to take our last break, and then we'll check in with William Engerman for the Gold Report. After the break, I am going to recap the DeSantis story because it's so huge. We broke it here on this program in America. They broke it in Canada and in the UK last night. We broke the story in America right here, and I want to recap that after the Gold Report. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals starting off today?
The metals are starting off a little lower this morning, at least gold is. Gold down $6.10 right now at $1,957.50. Silver's up 4 cents at $23.60. Platinum gaining $2 right now at $1,036. And palladium down $4 at $1,379 the ounce. So the dollar continues to be strong, although it pulled back a little bit today. We should see some follow through with the gold this morning. I think we're just down temporarily. This is giving us a great buying opportunity. So gold 1957.50, just above our support level of $1,950.
Well, listen, sounds like the metals are on sale today. Again, great day for buying gold, buying silver. Let me ask you, William, when people are buying gold and silver, I know a lot of people have like their favorite coins. Like somebody might be a big fan of the gold or silver eagle. when people are buying gold and silver, should they get the coins that they get the best deal on, that they can get the most gold and silver for the money, or should they try to have like all kangaroos, all eagles? Does it matter?
It doesn't really matter. Gold is gold, and the different forms that it comes in are actually an opportunity for everybody to participate in getting different forms of gold. It becomes almost like a collection, and we have a lot of people that try to get one of each type of gold coin. The premiums are higher on some of the products, but when you sell the coins, you get some of that premium back also. So, for instance, the gold eagles have a much higher premium than some of the other coins, although those premiums have come back down now. So they're much more reasonably priced than they were a year ago. But even then, when you sell those coins, you get much more of a premium over the gold. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but some people like to get as much gold per dollar invested, and therefore they different products. There's a nice array of products in the gold world of coins, and it doesn't hurt to have a nice little selection. It becomes an interesting and fascinating and historical collection.
Yeah, it makes it more fun. Listen, William Youngerman opens up weekdays at 10 a.m. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com or give him a call toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great.
All right, back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Now, I want to talk to those of you out there that are suffering from neuropathy, or a friend or a family member or a spouse, a mom, a dad are suffering from neuropathy. I don't have to tell you, it's living hell. I mean, it's torture. I mean, there's no getting around it. And the symptoms of neuropathy, there's none of them that do not make life unpleasant. It's just a matter of how much. Some people have all the symptoms, multiple symptoms at the same time. The numbness, the pain, the dizziness, the burning, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet. Some have no feeling at all. The dizziness. I mean, it's just awful. And I know if you have neuropathy, you got the diagnosis, but your doctor says, well, there's nothing you can do. Just learn to live with it. And I don't know what people do. Take sleeping pills so they sleep more? I don't know. But I do know this. Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano has a treatment for neuropathy that works. I've seen it work in you, Steve, and I've seen it work with many of our listeners. It works. And you know what? You don't have to go into the office. If you can't make it to the office in Pompano, still call them. No matter where you are, they can help you. But when you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio, because then you get the no-charge consultation, all right? You can find them online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com or give them a call at 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. So getting back to this story on Ron DeSantis, this is, we're talking about this thing with Tucker. One of the reasons that the mainstream media is dead and dying in this country is because there's this bombshell story on Ron DeSantis today that has been reported by credible sources, the Post-Millennial in Canada and the Daily Mail in England. And the mainstream media are not reporting it. And during the show today, during the breaks, I've been going through all the mainstream media sources. I've not seen this story in any of them. And the reason you're not seeing it is a couple of reasons. One, they hate Trump and they want to bring Trump down. But they all want to get a DeSantis interview. So they don't want to report the news because they're afraid if they report the news, they won't get the DeSantis interview. Like that means something, right? I mean, it's just awful. But the story today that we broke here in America on this show in the 6 o'clock hour that I'm going to recap right now should be the talk of the news cycle today and tomorrow. And the day after that, and every day until DeSantis is forced to respond to it. You know what it reminds? This scandal is so bad for Ron DeSantis. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Gary Condon. Do you remember Gary Condon? It was right before 9/11. He was the Democrat congressman, the Blue Dog Democrat, which I don't even know if they have those anymore. Blue Dog Democrats are conservative Democrats. he had the affair with the girl Chandra Levy that turned up dead, right? And he had an affair with her. And I remember the media were following him around, and he left Congress. And the only reason that jumped out of the fell out of the news cycle is 9/11 took it out. It was such a big story. All the press were following Gary Condon around, and then 9/11 happened. She was jogging in the park and was killed. But the thing about this DeSantis story, it's the kind of story that the media should be following him around and forcing him to respond to. But they all know about it, okay? And I know that they know about it because I know about it, and it's in media sources that they are familiar with, the Post-Millennial and the Daily Mail in particular, that I know they get a lot of stories out of in the mainstream media, but they're not reporting this on DeSantis. So here's the story. His number 3 campaign bundler, so this is the guy who's his number 3 fundraiser in his entire presidential campaign, is a lobbyist for Anheuser-Busch. That's Bud Light, okay? That's pretty bad. When you look at what's going on now, Ron DeSantis is telling us, his whole campaign slogan is, Florida is where woke goes to die, and there's nothing more woke than Bud Light with what's been going on, and he's taken money. His number 3 campaign bundler is a Anheuser-Busch lobbyist, which is Bud Light. He's got another guy who is organizing a D.C. fundraiser for him later this month. Yes, they're 2 different guys. They're 2 different guys. One's white, one's black. The white guy is the Anheuser-Busch Bud Light lobbyist. They're European. They don't like, I guess, non-white people. But the other guy, he's a lobbyist for 3 different things that go against everything Ron DeSantis is running on. One, and they got a big fundraiser in D.C. this guy's planning for him. He's a lobbyist for Moderna, which is the manufacturer of the COVID vaccine. 2, he's a lobbyist for the pharmaceutical company. I don't know if it's the same company that does the vaccine or not, but it may be another pharmaceutical. I'm not clear on that. But he's a lobbyist for a company that makes one of the leading medications that are puberty blockers that are given to trans children to stop puberty, which DeSantis is telling us he's outlawing, but he's got this fundraiser with this lobbyist for the puberty blocker pharmaceutical. Let me do and the third one, the guy's also a registered foreign agent for a CCP, Chinese Communist Party semiconductor company that was called out by the Trump administration. My thought would be is to try to get out in front of it and get out of it, but I think that's not what he's doing. I think he's going to try to ride it out.
He's not going to be able to ride it out without severe damage. But I think your suggestion of getting out in front of it, I think, is the only logical.
But that wouldn't do it.
Well, but the second part of it is not only does he get it right out, he's just got to say, look, this man's got his own life and his own practice and all that. It's got nothing to do with what I do.
Please.
And, well, that's what he's going to do, desperate situations.
That's desperate. That's weak.
There's no strong position, unless you can think of one. I think confronting it, his best hope of survival, if there is a hope for survival, is to feign righteous indignation and just say, it's not up to me to, interfere with his business outside of his business that we have with him.
Wow. See, he might the people he's taking these guys. It's like he's got these guys. Let me tell you, it's almost as bad. Maybe it's as bad because the things that these lobbyists that are doing these fundraising for DeSantis's campaign are working for the same people that are the most controversial things in America right now. Bud Light, the puberty blockers for kids, the Moderna.
Look, he's going to say that's their business, and it's not my business. I don't have anything to do with that. I don't agree with that, and I don't endorse that.
And they're fired. Yeah, but those will be lies, and it'll get worse for him. See, these. Oh, okay. I guess you're right.
I right or wrong?
Well, he could drop out of the race. He could drop out.
Much better.
Yeah, that would be my recommendation to DeSantis. Drop out, lose. But it's as if he has a lobbyist that's a lobbyist for Planned Parenthood, Steve. I mean, it's really that bad. I mean, this is... Yeah.
But how do it's called the best of a... He's got to make the best of a bad situation.
Well, let's see if someone's got to ask him first. And, you know.
He may be right on that.
Yeah.
Just keep his mouth shut.
I bet you, Steve, these guys are so entrenched with the Karl Rove clan that he couldn't get rid of them if he wanted to. Yeah?
That's who I'd like to see get nailed here, Karl Rove.
Oh, the canned ham, yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, everyone. Listen, guys, terrific show today. I wish we had another hour. Just a quick comment on the cable news. They're holding a losing hand. First of all, you hit it right on the nose. They're arrogant, and they think the American people are stupid. That's a losing poker hand. I hope they all go down. And Tucker, I wonder if he can hit 100 million people on his viewership.
On this one today, he might. And, Steve and I don't, Steve and I are, my dad was in Vietnam, and my dad's brother was one of the protesters against the Vietnam War. My dad was for the war, because and they had these conflicts, people in the family didn't talk about Vietnam. That's how Steve and I are when it comes to Ukraine. So Steve and I don't talk about Ukraine and Zelensky because Steve just gets really pissed off at me every time we do. But I'm serious. I'm not kidding. We talk off the air after the show. We have conversations. It's awful. But what he did on this dam that was blown up over there, that was Crimea's main water source. It's obvious Zelensky did this, and he's right. It's an attack on civilians, and he laid out this whole case. And the main story was why the media won't cover that. They're trying to blame Putin for cutting off the water supply to Crimea, which is Russia. And we're not talking about it, Steve. I'm just telling you what Tucker covered. And that's why he's going to continue to get these kinds of numbers on his program, because he's talking about what the news are covering up and won't allow to be discussed.
It's one issue. You think it's going to be his whole issue?
Oh, no. He'll have other issues, Steve. He'll have other issues. Not supporting Putin.
He also stated the fact that they blew up the Nord Stream oil pipeline, too.
Steve, when you were against the war in Vietnam, were you supporting Ho Chi Minh?
I can't get my mind around.
Exactly. Good question, huh? Hey, listen, thanks for the call, man. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Gee, Brian, just a couple of minutes.
30 seconds. You got 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Yeah, unbelievable when you think that, why don't you just write Putin a love letter, okay there, Chief? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. To Putin with love?
You give Putin, you love him, buddy. You know what I'm saying? It's like you talk nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he hung up. I had a good follow-up, but oh well. No, we're out of time. We only have seconds left. I want to spend the last few seconds just quickly telling people Father's Day is a week from Sunday. There is still time to go to patrioticprintsusa.com and order your Trump print. Every MAGA dad out there will love it. And as Steve said, even if you already bought Dad a gift, this will be the good one. This is the second one you give, because if you give something after this, it's going to be disappointing. That's right. They're very, very affordable. PatrioticPrintsUSA.com. That's Prince with an S. PatrioticPrintsUSA.com. See you tomorrow.
Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for.
Hey guys, I'll see you later. Take care.